All right. Good morning. I should say good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. Good morning to those of us here on the West Coast. I am your host, Brandon Troy, host and co-creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited, and I'm here on site at CES 2026. And just in a moment, I'm going to have gentleman here for ICEPLOSION, Andrew Heighway. So let me bring him on now. All right, we have him here now. How you guys doing? Andrew, how's it going?
Very good, Brandon.
Good. So, talk to me. Here we are at CES. How has it been thus far? I know you're here, obviously, showing ICEPLOSION, which we'll get into, but tell me, at least in terms of that work-life balance, how has it been thus far?
It's been a bit crazy, to be honest, because we did a show in September. By the way, first of all, thanks very much for having me on your show. It's a pleasure
Absolutely.
to be here, Brandon.
Yes.
And to chat with you all. So, it's been a long journey to get into this point, because we did a show in September, which is the IFA show, the IFA, which is a very large consumer electronics show, which is more sort of European-centric.
Okay.
So we were involved there in September, and we had a lot of feedback that maybe for the home use, our machine was a bit too large.
Okay.
So what we did is straight after the show is we redesigned the machine, actually repackaged it, and made it 40% smaller. So what you see here, well, your viewers will be able to see shortly,
Yes.
is a much smaller version of the machine, because we
Okay.
wanted to sit on people's countertops at home. So to do that process, redesign, repackage, then come up with all the CAD drawings, send them off to all the different manufacturers, manufacture them, ship them over to Italy, and then rebuild it. I mean, literally, we built this machine like within hours of shipping it over to the USA.
Wow.
And you ask about my stress levels. Well, this
Right.
shipping. I tell you what, if I never have to deal with shipping again in my life, but seriously, we had everything packaged in flight cases. 3 machines, all of the spares and everything, and we sent them, and they were due to leave on the 22nd, Monday 22nd, and due to arrive over the Christmas period on the 29th.
Okay.
On the 29th, they were still sitting in a warehouse in Milan, in Italy.
Wow.
And I'm like starting to think, these are not even going to arrive in time for the show. It's just going to be me and my guys, we're going to be sitting here in an empty booth just talking to people.
Right.
But luckily, it's who you talk to get things done. So I found a vice president there in Europe, told them how urgent this was, and we got them there. And honestly, within 24 hours of me speaking to one of the bosses, they were sat here in Las Vegas, and they arrived before me. It just goes to show.
Wow.
It's who you talk to.
So, just in talking about that, this is, folks, the journey of just, making it here to CES, and we haven't even gotten into like the logistics of how all this came to be. So can you share that?
Yeah, I mean, just to get here, I mean, this is a 4.5-year journey, almost 5 years actually, around sort of February time will be 5 years. And the reason why this all started is I'm a huge lover of frozen drinks, and in particular frozen fizzy slushies. Now, over in the UK, there's very few places you can actually buy them. Like you have to go to cinemas or amusement parks.
Right.
Over here, there's like something like 155,000 establishments. I mean, it's ingrained in American society. It's almost Americana, if you like. So I kind of said to myself, or asked myself the question, I love these drinks, how could I make one at home? There's got to be somebody who's making this for the home market, right? So I looked into it, and nobody was doing this, nobody had ever done it. And I thought, so why is that? So I started, and I've always been that way. If you ask my mother when I was growing up,
hey, being an entrepreneur is all about that. Finding where those where those holes are. So.
Yeah, I mean, my mother would tell you when I was growing up, I was always saying, how does this work? How does that work? I was always inquisitive like that. And that's kind of served me well now, as an inventor, is that, I see a problem, I'm always thinking, how can I fix it? And that's what happened with the slushies. So I started looking at how they do it commercially, and I started thinking, okay, well, if you scale it down, okay, there's this problem, that problem, and there were a lot of technical challenges to do this. Because if you've got, I believe the market's approximately 1.2 billion a year just for the frozen fizzy slushies in the USA alone.
Yes.
It's a massive market, and there's huge numbers of people making these drinks, but it's only commercially. So if you look at it, you've got the big machines which can be $10,000 or more just to buy the machine. If you put them in a commercial establishment, you need to have a high pressure filtered water supply. You need to have like a really powerful electrical connection, sometimes as much as 7 kilowatts, and you need to have like a giant gas bottle. I mean, how are you going to get that in people's homes? It's just impossible.
Sure.
And the whole thing is set up so it's a high volume machine. So you can always make 20 or 30 drinks at the same time. It's refilling itself. So there were loads of individual challenges. Because what I wanted was a machine which was a single portion machine, and it would be ultra fast to make because people want convenience in their lives. There's no point for me having a machine like this and you've got to sit there waiting 30 minutes to an hour. That for me was not attractive for this kind of machine. It had to be as fast as possible. So I had this sort of wish list of what I wanted the machine to achieve. I wanted it to be capsule based. So you have individual capsules. I'll show you one. Let me just show you one of these. So let's get one. Hold on a second. There we go. So we have these syrup capsules.
Okay.
It's individual portion. They make 16 to 20.
Let me see if I can. You can go ahead, continue. Put that up here so you guys can see that here. Yeah.
They make 16 to 20 fluid ounce drinks.
Okay.
And so single portion, but quite large. You make quite large, portions with them.
Yeah.
And you have drinking water, you have CO2 gas, and it does it all within the machine. You don't have to plumb it in, you don't have to have huge giant gas bottles. We're using industry standard 60-litre CO2 bottles.
Okay.
And you're saying about the journey. There were loads of technical challenges to overcome because you take a liquid, you add syrup to it, you've got to mix it, you've got to freeze it, you've got to pressurize it. I mean, you see, there's loads of individual slushy machines for the home market, but they're not fizzy, they're not carbonated.
Right.
There are, as I'm sure your viewers will know, there are two types really of slush drinks. You have the non-premium version, which is essentially crushed ice with syrup.
Yeah.
So, you drink it, and it's always frustrating because you're drinking it, you see the syrup level drop out of it, and you're left with just like a glass of like crushed ice with no flavour. But the premium version of the drink is the what we call industry FCB, which is frozen carbonated beverage. Now, you will know it much better by individual brand names because they're available in different outlets. I mean, I can say 7-Eleven. You can buy these kinds of drinks in 7-Eleven, as we all know, and it has a certain brand name. So, the syrups, they are commercially available. We provide the syrup, so we provide the syrup capsules. So we provide an all-in-one solution for the drink experience. So we get through all of these technical challenges, and then we came up with a machine really which overperformed what my expectations were. I can tell you about a year ago, we were making frozen drinks in approximately 8 to 10 minutes. Then I had a bit of a breakthrough. I had a few ideas how I could speed up because we've got I say, I'm going to use this term now. I say it's got like the Ferrari of freezing systems in it. This thing is like a racehorse. We're able to. So we were doing drinks in 8 to 10 minutes for a frozen drink. Now we can get it in as little as 2 to 4 minutes.
Wow.
Our record at the moment for a frozen drink is 3.5 minutes, and that's using like room temperature water, room temperature syrup. And going from that state to a frozen drink in only 3.5 minutes. And that for me is really one of the big technological breakthroughs of what it is that we've done, is that speed. So what we have now is a system where you can make your frozen drink, then after just a couple of minutes, including a 1-minute self-cleaning cycle, then you can make another completely different drink, different flavour, different type. And that's in the 3 categories that we do. So we do the traditional slushies that we spoke about. We do the premium, and I didn't finish that. The premium slushie, when you have that carbonated, pressurized, it expands the volume, and you get these like suspended fizzy ice crystals, which is why people love the drink so much. It's known as a premium drink. These frozen fizzy slushies. Yeah. So we do the non-fizzy, we do the fizzy, but as an offshoot of what we did, you can also do ice cold sodas as well, which is another industry first right now. Like you can buy machines where you can make individual portions sodas or soft drinks.
At your grocery store. Available. Yes.
Well, no, but for the home, you can buy machines for the home, but they don't refrigerate them. So the drinks you get out of it are only as cold as the water you put into the machine in the first place. So you can get your water out of the fridge, hot day, you want that cold drink, start to make it, the temperature starts to go up a little, you make the drink, it can be 8 to 10 degrees higher in temperature than when you put it in, so it's no longer a nice cold drink.
Yeah.
So whereas our system is refrigerating while it's preparing it, so when it serves it, it's ice cold. It's however cold you want it to be.
Nice.
So we've got these USPs, if you like, in all these different sort of categories. So to answer your question in a very long-winded way,
it's all great stuff.
There were a lot of technical challenges to get to this point, but we're really happy with the performance that we've managed to achieve.
Excellent. And when it comes to any product, as I'm sure you know, is even when you reach the finish line, you're always looking, as you said, to be able to innovate and to, try different things. So, before we get into, when, in terms of availability, what are some other things that are still on the horizon that maybe you can't really confirm right now, but you can tease perhaps?
Yeah, well, you actually hit the nail on the head there. We found, originally we were just a slushy machine, then we found we could do soft drinks and sodas. We're looking into things like non-alcoholic beers as well. We're also looking into ice creams. I'm going to say that to you now. We're doing tests with that because the machine can do all of these things. I've made ice cream. You're the first guy I've told this to, actually.
Oh,
so
okay.
there you go, exclusive.
There you go.
So we've made ice cream with the machine already. There are some technical challenges around how we serve it and so on, but we will be able to achieve that. And there's other things as well. People, a lot of adults say to me, okay, it's great. There's maybe for a younger generation, sometimes more like the slushy type drink. But what about the adults? How can we get that frozen margaritas and things like that from our machine? Well, we know how we're going to do that as well. So as the sort of the months, as we develop further, our portfolio of drinks and products and desserts that we can do from our machine is going to increase.
Excellent.
One of our goals really with this machine is to be the drink station for people's homes. Because for me, it's all about, we said this earlier on, about convenience.
Yes.
People don't want to, if they've got the big game on or, you've got some friends over for a barbecue, you don't want to have to say, oh, great, let's have some frozen drinks. Right, I'll just pop out to the shop, and then, he said he was only going to be a few minutes.
Right.
45 minutes later, he comes back, guess what, the frozen drinks all melted. This is not convenience for people.
No.
So this is what we want to achieve. You can make all of these in the comfort of your own home. You can do it ultra fast, and it's got to be affordable too. And I guess we'll come on to pricing. You said,
Yeah. So with that, you jumped ahead, which I love. So can you tell folks what they can, expect in terms of cost to have this in their home and when they can expect it?
Well, we're looking to be on people's shelves before the summer, because obviously summer's an important month.
Perfect, yeah.
It's hot,
Perfect.
Especially in the southern states.
It's
So we're hoping to be on the shelves before the summer. And as far as pricing points goes, we're looking at, our target price point is $700 at retail for the machine. And the individual syrup capsules we spoke about, we're looking at $1. So, if you think about it, $1, bearing in mind how much you would pay for a slushie in shops or in cinemas and so on, for me, convenience is important, but it's not going to be just convenience, it's also going to be affordability too, because these days people are feeling the pinch economically.
For sure.
You've got to make your dollar stretch as much as possible. So Absolutely. If it can be convenient and affordable, for me, that ticks both boxes.
All right, excellent. Well, Andrew, pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Here. Appreciate having you here. Andrew Heighway at ICEPLOSION here at CES 2026. See you guys soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.